All right, today I just want to have a little video about, Alexa Grasso's story. It's very inspiring. She went from going to the UFC, hitting a roadblock, and then going to the top, winning the belt. So it's another video about Chaos and May here again. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's a really good story how she silenced the doubters. She put everything behind her and said, if you don't believe me, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do my best. And I just want to talk about her story because it's actually a pretty great story here. So first off, she starts off fighting in the Mexico Regional Fight Hard Championships, Extreme Combat, and then she eventually signs with Invicta FC. And in Invicta FC, she dominates. She goes 4-0. She beats all her opponents. She dominated in the promotions before that. She didn't have any problems. And her last fight in Invicta FC, she dominates Jody. Unanimous decision. Wasn't even controversial. Dominates all 3 rounds. Beats her pretty clearly. And this was like, all right, this girl needs to be signed to the UFC, because after she just did that, was winning the 3 fights before that in Invicta FC, it's time to get her in UFC. The UFC signs her, and then the rest is history. The UFC signs her. She makes her UFC debut against Heather Clark, and she wins the unanimous decision. She beats Heather Clark, and it started to get eyes on her. Like, who is this girl? Alexa Grasso, great fighter. Who is this? Like, I got to start to get tuned into this, because she put on a good performance. You could tell her boxing was slick. She still needs to work on her takedown defense this time, but as we saw over her career, it gets better and better. She keeps going up because she's training every day hard, and it's getting better. So she beats Heather Clark, and she goes on from there. She has some tough losses after that, though. She goes on some rough patches. She loses to Felice Herring. Tough loss. Contra decision. She lost that one. She loses to Tatiana Suarez. But in between that, she beats Ronda in between that. So she beats Ronda in between that, but she loses the Tatiana Suarez after that. Now, Tatiana Suarez is one of the best fighters in that division, and she just saw her come back and return. Look how good she looked after the layoff. So Tatiana Suarez, tough, great fighter, but hit the little rough patch. Then after that, she gets some wins. She beats Carolina, and then she loses to Carla Esparza. Now, Carla Esparza, one of the best fighters in this class, she got the belt. She lost to this fight, and then after that, it was kind of like Alexa was probably like, maybe I make the switch. This was all at 115, remember? So maybe she makes the switch to 125. She doesn't have to worry about that weight cut anymore. She'll be better in shape. She won't have to cut down the weight. Her head will be in it more, and she makes the switch to 125. But when she makes that switch to 125, people say, is she making the right decision? Is she making the right call? And let's be honest, it was the right call. But once again, at this point, she hit that roadblock, and she had all these doubters saying, is she making the right decision to 125? I remember we did a written article with Alexa Grasso, and I asked her, I said, how do you feel about the move to 125? She says she feels good about it. She can't wait for it. She feels better than ever, and that was it. And then I remember saying in 125 she wanted to get her first submission win after the win against Macy Barber, and she got that in the 125. Then she got another one, as we saw in the Valentina fight. But it's just, remember, ignore the doubters. That's what she did, and she goes to 125, and the rest is history. So then her 125, I remember watching this fight in the summer. She fights Keon Kim, and I remember watching this, and I was like, she looks good. The striking looks on point. She, like I've been saying, she didn't have to worry about that weight cut. What she did to Jian's face, you could tell it was a beating. Alexa looked good, and it was impressive, man. It started to get more eyes tuned on her. If you weren't already tuned into Alexa Grasso, you were going to be tuned in now, and that's what happened. She got the eyes. She looked very good. Her boxing looked slick. Her whole game looked improved, and it was very impressive. It was a very impressive win. Then she fights Macy Barber. People are saying Macy Barber, young prospect in this division. I don't think people were saying, I don't know if she can beat Macy Barber. She goes out there, beats Macy Barber. You could see the striking combos in this fight too. Just the combinations, everything about it was so slick. And you were like, man, she's going to keep winning. She's eventually going to fight for this belt, man. And Macy Barber is a good win, because everyone was saying Macy Barber, next thing in this division. But after the one fight against Shakagan, yeah, it kind of died down. But then she fought Alexa Grasso, and Alexa Grasso won. And Macy's a great fighter. Remember that. Macy's a great fighter. So this was a good win. And I remember saying after this fight, I had an interview with her, and she wanted to get her first submission win, because people were only saying, oh, she's no ground game. People were saying she has no ground game. She's only a striker. Eventually we'll catch up to her. But she proved that's not true. She beats Joanne Wood, gets her first submission win. I remember that moment, and I remember thinking back, like, she wanted that submission win. Like, this is what she wanted. And she showed that her ground game got a lot better previous to when she was in 115. Now that she's at the 125 division, her ground game was better. She submits Joanne Wood. Joanne Wood's a good fighter. She almost got to fight for the belt 2 times. Remember, had that 1 win away, and then she would fight Valentina. She never got that win, but she almost fought for the belt a couple times. She's a solid fighter in this division, and Alexa Grasso submits her in the first round, getting her first submission win in this division. And she was so excited about that. It's just a great moment for her. And she goes on to fight Viviana. Now, this was the main event, remember. So this was you're in any main event in the UFC, you're gonna have eyes watching, because it's a main event, fight night, pay-per-view, don't even matter. There's gonna be eyes watching. Saturday night, main event. I want to tune in, watch this UFC main event. And Alexa Grasso fights Viviana, and you could see her game improved. Her striking, everything about her ground game, everything you could see was improved. And you're like, man, I think she actually might be ready for this title shot against Valentina Shevchenko. And she goes out there, she beats Viviana in a 5-round decision and gets the win. And after this, people still didn't believe. They still didn't believe she would beat Valentina, and they were wrong. Including myself, they were wrong. She goes out there, she wins this fight, striking looks good. Then she fights Valentina Shevchenko. Remember, going into this week, no one was picking her. Valentina's a huge favorite. And Alexa Grasso, she's seeing at the press conference, all the media she was doing, she seemed calm. She seemed very calm, like, yeah, I'm fighting Valentina Shevchenko, but it's just, I know it's a big fight. It's another fight for me. My eyes on the prize. I'm not going to get too crazy about it. I'm not going to overreact. People were saying, I remember seeing some during fight week, people were saying, she looks scared of Valentina. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think she's scared of Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, how many fights has she fought in her career? Yeah, it's for the belt. It's against a way better opponent, one of the best women's fighter ever. But I don't think she's scared of Valentina Shevchenko. I think that's a little crazy. And the press conference, she looked calm. She seemed excited on the Friday at weigh-ins that it's almost here. It's almost here. And she was ready to shock the world. And that's what she did. She shocked the world. She didn't care about what people were saying, that she had no chance. She didn't care about all the people that said 125 is a bad decision for her. She made the move to 125. It was one of the best decisions she probably made for her career. And here she is, undefeated in the 125 division. And the rest is history. She fights Valentina Shevchenko and wins the belt. 4th round submission. Remember, the first round was razor close. Could have went either way. Second round was kind of Valentina's. 3rd round was razor close. Alexa Grasso looked like she belonged in this fight. And the 4th round, Valentina does the spinning kick that she does in every fight, and Alexa Grasso trained for this. When Valentina does the spinning kick, Alexa Grasso goes for the takedown, she gets her back. That's what she trained for all fight camp, and there's video proof of that. What do you know? Valentina does the spinning kick, Alexa Grasso gets the back, and she submits her, locks it in. I remember watching it, and it was like kind of there. You saw it locked in. You were like, is it actually in? There's still time left. Is she going to get it? And Valentina wasn't getting out of there. Valentina's face starts to turn red, and you're like, oh my gosh, is she actually going to do this? And what do you know? She goes out there, she submits Valentina in the 4th round, and it was amazing to see. I remember the emotion you could see in this picture. She screams out in joy. Just all the doubters, all the people that said she couldn't make the move to 125, all the people that said she had no chance against Valentina, all the people that said she was scared of Valentina during fight week, they were all wrong. Alexa Grasso put that aside. She worked hard her whole career. She worked hard for this moment. The moment finally came, and she took control of this moment and went out there and won the belt. And I guarantee you, in the rematch against Valentina, people are still going to be doubting her. But Alexa Grasso, she's used to that. She'll put that to the side, and she'll be training harder than ever. She's probably one of the hardest trainers in the sport. She trains hard, and she went out there and did the thing no one expected. Submitted Valentina in the 4th round. She got the belt. She shocked the world. It was an amazing moment. It actually brings like chills to you when you saw this. I remember seeing this. I was even like, wow, this is amazing. It's inspiring to see. It inspires other people. Always follow your dreams. Don't care what other people say. If you actually want to do something, you believe you can do it, go for it. Because no one thought Alexa Grasso was going to win this belt, but she didn't care. She had a dream. She saw it in her mind. She went out there and she did it. So just remember that. Always follow your dreams. And Alexa Grasso showed this. Alexa Grasso's story is so inspirational because she made it hit that roadblock. But when she hit that roadblock, she didn't give up. She didn't give up. She kept training. She made the move that she thought was going to be best for her, and it worked. It benefited her. And when she trained hard for this move, she kept winning. She kept winning, and eventually she got the one thing she wanted, that belt. And she got the belt and beat one of the best fighters of all time. So bravo to Alexa Grasso. It's an amazing career. I can't wait to see what's next for you. I probably the rematch, and I can't wait to see the rematch. You really, really inspire a lot of people to follow their dreams, and I'm really looking forward to this rematch. And even though there's probably going to be more people doubting you, you just put that to the side, because at the end of the day, it's what you believe and what you have in your mind. So Alexa Grasso, bravo. I cannot wait to see what's next for you in your career, and I look forward to watching the rest of your career play out. It's been amazing so far, and yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next. Peace.